again. It's a rich thing.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a Chicago Bulls news-related video referring to all of the updates around the Chicago Bulls heading into our very important game against the Toronto Raptors. There are many news stories on both Toronto's side and the Chicago Bulls side that we will be discussing in today's video, just keeping you up to date with everything around the Chicago Bulls because there is a lot to look forward to, a lot that is happening. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls at this point in time in relation to the news as well as the game against the Toronto Raptors. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is something I did mention yesterday, but just to give an update on the situation. Alex Caruso and Derrick Jones Jr. are both going to be out of this game against the Toronto Raptors. I think none of us expected anything less. It's one of those situations where you just have to look at it, understand that they both just got injured. They're not going to come back straight away. Even if they can, it's probably a good idea that they don't. And it's a very simple, easy decision there for the Chicago Bulls. Hopefully they can both get better soon, but obviously that is a very easy one to talk about. We can swiftly move on from that one. Moving into another story, ladies and gentlemen, there's been a lot of talk that this game might potentially be postponed against the Toronto Raptors just because of a lot of players in health and safety protocols from the Toronto Raptors side. There were being, I think, 3 or 4 players from the Toronto Raptors that did enter health and safety protocols. Just to give a quick update on relation to Toronto Raptors side of things, they have 7 players in health and safety protocols, including players like Fred VanVleet, Scotty Barnes, Gary Trent, Pascal Siakam. A lot of their team has entered health and safety protocols. So there was a lot of questions about whether or not a game like this could get postponed. But the league has continued to say that they are refusing to cancel the league, or they're going to not cancel the league, and they're going to keep on trying to play out the season. And we've also seen, just looking based on Sham's Twitter, ladies and gentlemen, the Toronto Raptors have made a lot of 10-day contract signings for their respective team, and I guess DJ Wilson is going to be one of them. There are a few players out there for the Toronto Raptors that will be coming in against the Chicago Bulls, some new faces for them, which could be a good thing or a bad thing for them. Of course, new faces means harder to predict on defense, and of course, there could also be that there's no chemistry on the team whatsoever, but a lot of their team is out. But in saying that, obviously, it looks like the NBA are very persistent in playing this game. So I do see this game going ahead. As much as I know a lot of Toronto Raptors fans would probably want this game postponed, and I completely can sympathize. Again, 7 for me has always been the number when it comes to outbreaks. When you have 7 players in protocols, that's when I think the game should be postponed. But it looks like the league are going to do things very differently from what I see and what I've said in the past. And obviously, our games got postponed when we had 10 players in protocols. So maybe that would be the number for the Raptors. We have seen a couple of more games postponed outside of that. It's a full outbreak for the Raptors, and I really feel sorry for their team, as I'm sure many teams or many people felt sorry for the Bulls at that time as well. So again, we're going to have to wait and see. I'm not going to go out here and say anything negative about the Toronto Raptors. I completely understand the situation they're going through, but we have to keep on moving on with the news, ladies and gentlemen, and let's continue to talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, more players that could potentially be coming back for the Chicago Bulls. Obviously, players like Zach LaVine, Alizé, and I believe Matt Thomas are all still doubtful for this game against the Toronto Raptors, which means they are very unlikely to return. They will still be in protocols, most likely. But someone that could be returning for the Chicago Bulls is Troy Brown Jr. Troy Brown Jr. is out of protocols, ladies and gentlemen, and he's expected to return to the team. Obviously, there could be potential issues in terms of conditioning with Troy Brown Jr., so there is still a chance that he does miss this game against the Toronto Raptors. But nevertheless, another player that is out now of health and safety protocols, and that's going to be fantastic for us. We get a little bit more depth in the squad, a little bit more wing defenders, a little bit of someone that can play 2 sides of the ball. It's great to see Troy Brown Jr. back into the team. I think if he does play against the Toronto Raptors, he will get some minutes to go and show what he could do. And overall, I'm very happy about the situation. And we'll wait and see, ladies and gentlemen, how that goes. Nevertheless, we also have 2 players to talk about in relation to signing on for 10-day contracts, ladies and gentlemen. There is a lot to decipher in this circumstance, and I just want to say I'm very intrigued with both of these signings. One of them I never thought I'd ever talk about as a Chicago Bull, and the other one is a very interesting one, and we'll have to wait and see if he can step up for the team while he's here. We're going to be starting off firstly with the signing that the Chicago Bulls made in the guard position, and his name is McClung. I hope I said his name right. Hopefully that I did. He was, I believe, drafted by the LA Lakers. He didn't really get a lot of chances to play. He was also on their G League team. We signed him on for a 10-day contract, pretty much with the hardship exemption. No surprises there, but this is definitely someone I never expected to be talking about in relation to the Chicago Bulls, and especially on a 10-day deal. There is an opportunity there to improve and to impress this team, and maybe there is a chance where he can come in, be that 15th man on the roster, who knows. But at the end of the day, we do need some backup, we do need some depth in the team, and with the league and the new rules that are becoming around about the hardship exemption and signing players, it does make sense that the Bulls take advantage of that situation. He's someone that is a very decent playmaker, he's a good improved playmaker, I should say. He shoots a very decent percentage from the three-point line as well. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes. I'm not going to say he's going to be a fantastic player for the team, because again, we saw similar things with Matt Thomas. He's a great three-point shooter, but we didn't see him enough on the team to say what an improved signing that was. So I don't really know what to say in terms of McClung. Hopefully he could come in and impress straight away. Hopefully he could get some minutes and show what he has for the team. But a lot of people are very excited. A lot of people are linking him to the way that Alex Caruso came into the league. At the end of the day, who really knows? If there is something about this player, again, he seems very athletic. He seems like a guy that can do a lot of things on the court. If he could show it at the NBA level, if he could get an opportunity and actually have meaningful minutes on the team, then there might be a chance here for him to keep on improving and maybe get more time with the Chicago Bulls. Only time's going to tell, but we don't have much time for these players to improve or these players to impress us. So let's see if he could do it straight away. That's pretty much what he should be focusing on, is trying to improve and trying to impress straight away, so other teams could be interested, and also maybe the Bulls make some changes and add him in. Another player that we did sign is Ersan Ilyasova. Again, another player I never thought in my life I would be talking about as a Chicago Bulls player. It feels like he plays for a lot of teams, but I did not expect him to play for the Chicago Bulls. And this is an interesting signing. He's someone that can spread the floor, shoot the three. He's a good offensive player. I wouldn't necessarily say he's a great defensive player. However, one thing that he's been known for throughout the course of his career is taking charges. He's one of the best charge takers, I guess you could say, in the NBA, and that has not changed in his age. And again, he's not someone that I see sticking around for the long term for the Chicago Bulls. I don't see him staying here until the end of the season. I don't see him staying here for the majority of, I guess, the Bulls basketball. We might see him in this game against Toronto, maybe in the next game against the Pacers, but outside of that, I think that's in terms of that's pretty much going to be it in terms of what we see from Ersan Ilyasova. But we'll see how he goes as well. Obviously, he's a more proven player, so I'm not going to say he has a lot of upside and potential. I think my decision is that we won't see him for too long, and maybe it's up to him to prove us wrong. But if he can do that, then that's great. That means more players are playing well for the Chicago Bulls. And I think that's it I'm going to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. And let's just see what happens against the Toronto Raptors. Hopefully their outbreak doesn't end up affecting some of the other players that just haven't got that virus on our team, because that's the last thing that I want to see. And obviously that is the danger of having the Toronto Raptors come over to the United Center and play the Chicago Bulls at home. It is a frustrating one, and obviously with so many players out from protocols and so many players recently for them out in protocols, it is a very tough situation for them, and it's also a very tough situation for the Bulls as well, because this could definitely affect our team if this virus or this outbreak does spread towards our players, and hopefully that's not the case. Nevertheless, we'll see what happens. I doubt this game gets postponed, but we'll wait and see. Obviously, this could be towards the game time decision, maybe with a couple of minutes or couple of hours left until the game. Maybe they don't have enough players. It could go down to the wire in terms of that. So be on the lookout. I would say never. Don't ever question it, but I think it's very unlikely. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you against the Toronto Raptors, and we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully we can pull out the victory. That's the most important thing, and obviously hopefully everything goes well for both teams after this game and moving on to the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.